Hello and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. So I am here drinking my tea with honey right now to soothe my throat a little bit. I just did the White Wizard wave spell video, and I noticed that my voice was a little hoarse and raspy, and so I'm hoping to be able to get through this video with the assistance of Mother Nature and this beautiful honey. We're going to be talking today about Mars in Libra. Mars began his transit of Libra yesterday as I'm filming this. I'm filming on the 16th, on the 15th of September. And we'll be transiting Libra until the 30th of October. On the 30th of October, Mars is going to move into the sign of Scorpio, just in time for Halloween. So that should be an intense transit. But we're not talking about that yet. We're not there yet. Right now, we are talking about Mars in Libra. So we're going to go over the energies of this. We're going to pull some cards and get some guidance as we navigate this transit and just talk about what it means. So when we're talking about the energy of Mars, Mars is one of our personal planets. Mars represents our masculine energy, right? It's our drive. It's our life force energy. It's the way that we exert our will upon the world in order to get our needs met, in order to get what it is that we want. It is that warrior, masculine warrior type energy. And so Mars can represent our vitality. It can represent our sexuality. It can represent how we exhibit aggression. There's a lot of different things that Mars energy can represent. But above all else, when we're looking at it in terms of our ascension process, Mars represents our will and our ability to create, to bring into manifest form. And so when we're working in the sign of Libra, Libra is, of course, a sign that represents balance. It represents harmony. That is the goal. That is the aim of Libra energy, is to create harmony, both internally and externally. And so Libra's journey is sort of moving from one extreme to the other as it finds a way to reach that balance, to reach that equilibrium, if you will. A lot of people think that Libras are naturally balanced and harmonious. That's not necessarily the truth. Typically speaking, from an evolutionary astrology point of view, which is, I do evolutionary ascension-based astrology, sort of like its own, we've created our own sort of, what's the word that I'm looking for here? Our own category here, I guess you would say. But when we're looking at things from an evolutionary point of view, the signs aren't necessarily, they don't necessarily represent how we are. They represent what we aspire to be, what it is that we're learning, what it is that we're attempting to grow into in this lifetime. So Librans are attempting to grow into harmony and balance. That doesn't necessarily mean, and it often does not mean, that they all come into this life with that energy. If there was like a South Node in Libra or something like that, then sometimes that is more the case, because that can be the energy that we've refined over lifetimes. But typically, it's an energy that they're moving into. And so we are going to be receiving, as Mars transits Libra, lots of opportunities to learn the art of balance when it comes to all areas of our lives, but very much when it comes to our will, when it comes to the ways that we create, the ways that we utilize our masculine energy. There's definitely, I think, going to be a huge theme when we're looking at Libran energy. We see, because there is this desire for harmony and balance, and there is this great desire for relationship. Libra is a sign that thrives in relationship. Libra learns about the self through the experiences with others. And Libra really wants that. They want that harmony, that cohesion, right? But sometimes what that can lead to is people pleasing. It can lead to manipulation in order to get what they want. Libra energy can be very charming. It is that energy that can be that chameleon, right? They can fit in anywhere. They know exactly what to say and what to do, because they can read people very well, being cerebral, being an air sign. They can read people very well. They can relate to people very well. And so they know what people want, and they know how to give people what they want. And so as we have Mars moving through Libra, the positive aspect of this is that we are going to be able to utilize our finesse and our charm in order to get what we want a little more easily. We're also going to be able to understand other people's points of view. Libra is an energy. It is the scales, right? So it's an energy of balance and fairness, which is what we are going to be seeking in our interactions with others, in our interactions in the world in general, and within our own lives, is that balance, that fairness, that equality. But they also tend to live in the gray area of life. And this is why Librans sometimes get the reputation for being indecisive, is because they can see both sides of everything, right? Nothing is black and white. They understand all of the different aspects, and this is what makes them great mediators and great politicians and so on and so forth, is because they can, if we can call politicians great, but you know what I mean. We're not going to get into all of that. They're really good at seeing all sides of an issue and all sides of an equation. And so we can really call this energy in and utilize this, because the world really needs this right now. There is such a division. We talk about this all the time, the split between the 3D and the 5D, as that becomes more and more intense, to the point where we split off completely and we're not even aware of each other. Like, ultimately, that's what's going to happen. But in the meantime, we are aware of each other, and there is a lot of controversy, right? And hopefully the controversy is coming more from the 3D side than the 5D side, right? Because as we move toward 5D, we let go of those aspects, right? We're not trying to argue with people. We're not trying to force people to see our perspective. We're not trying to get anybody to do anything or be anything other than what they are, right? We're allowing everyone to have their experience. And we're simply showing through our example that higher experience, what is possible, what it is to truly live through the heart, right? As opposed to living through the mind, living through the ego, living through the limitations, right? Living in that fear consciousness. We're displaying what it looks like to live in love consciousness. And so we're not engaging in that controversy, but it's definitely a process of balance, right? And a process of, it takes patience. It takes exemplification of all of the virtues, right? Which is what we come here on earth to learn, among many things, right? Is those virtues: compassion, tolerance, patience, understanding, forgiveness. We must employ all of those things tirelessly, but that doesn't mean that we allow people to walk all over us, right? And that is the flip side of the Libran energy, is that tendency to let people walk all over them, is that tendency to do things simply to make other people happy, to keep them around, or to keep the peace. And so that's the energy that we want to watch out for as Mars enters Libra. And we really want to look at our intentions and our motivations in our interactions with other people. Where do those fall? What is it that we're hoping to get out of a situation? Why is it that we're doing what we're doing? Right? We want to be balanced and fair. We want to consider other people, consider their feelings, consider their viewpoints, consider how our actions are going to affect them. Especially, remember, Mars, it's about action. But we don't want to consider that to the point of neglecting ourselves, right? Some of the decisions that you make for you are going to piss off other people. That just is what it is, especially as you're growing and changing and other people possibly are not, right? If you are a person, and many of us come from this background, right, who spent a lot of their lifetimes in that people-pleasing energy, in that energy of least resistance. And when we talk about the path of least resistance, this is where we're talking about the lower vibratory path. There are two paths of least resistance. There's the path where you're going along with something that is not your truth in order to keep the peace and not rock the boat. And there's the least resistance where you're going with the flow of your divine self and allowing that divine self to guide you. Right? So we're talking about that lower vibratory path of least resistance. That overly giving energy, right? When we step out of that energy into a more self-sufficient energy, into a more empowered energy, when we start setting boundaries, Mars and Libra, any Libra energy, right? And we are moving into Libra season with the sun as well, which makes this energy doubly as powerful, right? With that equinox energy, we're moving into Libra season. So this energy, it's a twofold. And so we're going to be talking about this as well when we do the sun in Libra, our Libra season. Yeah, I'm actually thinking right now. Yeah, I think this video is going to cover both. Right, because we have Mars in Libra and we have the sun in Libra right now. So I'm thinking this video is going to cover both the Mars in Libra and the sun in Libra transits. So we have the sun in Libra, which enters on the 22nd and goes until it's either the 20th, the 21st, or the 22nd of the next month. They all shift like within a day, so it's hard. It's. I haven't memorized exactly which day each sun sign transitions yet, but I'll have it. The actual exact dates will be in the description box. But we're gonna do this for both the Mars and Sun in Libra energy, because it's a similar energy, right? Mars, this is our masculine energy. This is what we're experiencing in our ability to move and enact ourselves in the world. The Sun is our consciousness. Right? It's our conscious selves. It's the overriding energy and themes that we're going to be working with on a conscious level. And so, yeah, we're compounding these into one video. We're making that executive decision right now. So, but it's this energy that we're looking at of learning to set those boundaries, learning to step into our power and understanding, like we said, we are going to piss some people off when we do that. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it. Right? We can't keep everybody happy. There's someone that I used to be close to, they used to say something like, if everybody you know likes you, it's time to take off the fucking mask. Like, that's the energy. Like, putting it quite bluntly, right? That's the energy we're in right now. You know, not everybody is going to like you when you start standing up for yourself. When you start putting yourself first. When you start claiming your power and using your voice. Right? But the right people will love you. Okay? Not everyone's going to like you, but the right people will love you. And that's all that matters. And honestly, at the end of the day, truly and honestly, all that matters is that we love ourselves, right? But the right people will love you as well for being yourself. And you will attract those right people into your life by being yourself. So it's really knowing that and understanding that. So that's a huge theme of this Mars and Sun in Libra energy, is that energy of setting boundaries, of really learning how to put ourselves first. And yes, like we said, balance that with the needs of others. There are other people in our lives that of course have needs that we have to consider. If we have children, right? If we have a spouse, if we have business partners, co-workers, these different things, like we have to, and if we take this bigger, right, the entire collective, because everything that we do impacts the collective. So we want to think about that. We want to think about the impact that we're having on the world around us. But we are here. We're put here to be who we truly are, to shine as who we truly are. So we're not going to have a negative impact on the world if we allow ourselves to be who we truly are. We just have to understand how to do that with a little bit of tact, right? We have to understand how to do that in a way that doesn't alienate everyone around us, in a way that is not bringing more conflict into our lives, right? We're not trying to do that. So there's a way, there's an art to this, and that's what Libra season teaches us, is that art, right? That art of navigating the world from a place of integrity and authenticity at the same time. So that's a big energy that we're working with Libra energy, with Libra season. We're also working with the energy of bringing more harmony and beauty into our lives, right? Libra is ruled by Venus. It is a sign that loves beauty. And so how can we make the world more beautiful? How can we make our lives more beautiful? How can we see the beauty in everything and enhance that beauty where we can? That's a beautiful quality of Libra season that we don't want to discount or leave out when we're talking about this energy. What else do we have here? There was something that I wanted to say, and then I went off on a tangent, and now I've sort of forgotten about it. So hopefully if it's meant to be discussed, it will come back up. But it's really, it's that art of balance, that art of harmony, the art of setting boundaries, learning how to enforce those boundaries, learning how to live in the world amongst others in a way that is harmonious. I don't know. It'll come to me if it's meant to come to me, like we said. It'll probably come up in the reading, or while I'm doing the reading. And I want to start with the Black Moon astrology cards for today as we're moving through Libra season. And remember, During Libra season as well, we are going to have Mercury retrograde. And that will have its own video that will be coming out sometime in the next week or so. Because that's a powerful energy on multiple fronts. It's connected, of course. Mercury retrogrades 3 times in a year on average. And it's been in air signs all year, right? We had Aquarius and then Gemini and now Libra. So powerful energies with the reworking of the of our minds, right? As we step into a deeper level of mental mastery. And the Libra energy, of course, is about the balancing and harmonizing of the mind. So we're going to talk about that in a separate video. But yeah, lots of powerful, powerful Libra energy. Relationships, as Libra is the sign of the other. It represents the 7th house, the descendant. Relationships are going to be a big focus. This is definitely between Venus being in Scorpio right now and all of this Libran energy that we have going on. Major make it or break it time for relationships. If your relationships are not soul-centered, if your relationships are not helping you to evolve, if they are not supporting the highest version of you, that will be revealed. If our relationships are limiting us or causing us to limit ourselves, right? Because that's really what it is. Nothing limits us. We do it to ourselves. We are going to see that, and we're going to have some choices to make. So you can expect that energy as we move through now through the end of October as well. Clear. I think that was the other thing that I wanted to mention. All right, let's get some energy on this Sun. Libra season. Sun and Mars in Libra. Let's get some energy on Libra season here. And Venus, of course, before she transited Scorpio, transited Libra. And so we got a taste of this, especially where it came to relationships. Also where it came to learning how to balance our finances, learning how to navigate all of those Venusian areas. But now she's in passionate Scorpio. And there is a video on that if you guys want to check it out. Powerful energy there. So just giving us that extra passion there. So we will be noticing as well where our relationships do not support our passions, our drives, our desires. All right, a lot of these concepts that we've been talking about are going to be played out in relationships. All right, first card out is North Node, Life's Purpose. So interesting energy as we move through Libra season. The energy of this is bringing us closer to our life's purpose. This season really is so key in helping us to evolve to our next level of soul mastery, to bringing us closer to our life's purpose. Right? In Virgo season, we prioritized, we strategized, we got all our ducks in a row. We created hopefully that sustainable routine. We really looked at that 7 of Pentacles energy, evaluated where we were at, where we were trying to go, the resources that we needed, what was standing in our way, what was helping us. And then we move forward into Libra season. Now that we've decided what's important to us, now that we've prioritized, how do we balance all of that? How do we harmonize that? How do we balance where we're going, like we said, with the relationships to other people in our lives, with our collective responsibility to each other and to humanity? But we're really moving toward our purpose. We're living our purpose every single day, right? Every single moment of every single day. But like the next evolution of that. This is Libra season is just going to be a key season in our evolution. The evolution of ourselves, the evolution of everything that we talked about. Our ability to set boundaries, our ability to find that balance of harmony, to find that inner balance and harmony, right? Because that's the ultimate goal of Libra energy, which we sort of got into. It's not about outer harmony. Outer harmony is a byproduct of inner harmony. It's really about finding that inner harmony and equilibrium. Then we have Capricorn IUs. Yeah, so really that concrete path forward, right? Capricorn is the energy of ambition. It is that hardworking, tenacious energy. And so it's really capitalizing on our resources. And resources coming through that are going to facilitate us in moving more deeply into our soul purpose and soul mission, which is beautiful. I feel for a lot of people too, it's like ambition's shifting. where you might have had one trajectory forward before, and now you're realizing, right, that what had meaning to you before doesn't necessarily have meaning to you anymore, right? That you may want something different. You want to see, like, with this, all right, we have the North Node and we have Capricorn. This is very 10th house energy that I'm feeling too, which is the energy of career. It's also the energy of the mark that we want to leave in the world. So really thinking about the mark that we want to leave on the world and how it is that we're going to get there. What those resources are, those inner and outer resources, and how we can most effectively utilize them. How can we move toward that goal? How can we, it's like really buckling down in terms of our evolution during Libra season, in terms of the refinement of the expressions of our energies. And we did have the Grand Trine Blessings card on the bottom of the deck. We had the water element sensing coming out, right? And so Libra season is air, right? There's not necessarily always a lot of feeling, but there is, and we talked about that Venus and Scorpio energy, right? There is definitely an energy of, there's an energy of emotion here. How do we use our emotions, right? How do we use them? How do we allow them to work for us instead of against us? How do we sense the world around us, right? How do we tap into that intuition? This is a big energy of intuition, using our intuition. I use my intuition. So how are we using our intuition to guide us in our evolution, to guide us further along our path? How are we tapping into that? Remember, Mercury retrograde for many is an energy of stepping more into the intuitive mind. I say for many because if you naturally have Mercury in retrograde in your chart, then you may experience the switch differently. If you naturally operate from this place mentally, you're going to be more on the logical side of things. But for many of us overall, right, it's more, regardless of which way that cookie crumbles, we're looking into the subconscious, we're examining, we're having things brought to the surface. And so throughout this Libra season, we're really going to be asked to tap more deeply into our intuition and use that as our guide. We have the Leo, I will. All right, so that's that solar plexus energy. That's that sun. Leo is ruled by the sun, so we got that solar energy, the energy of illumination, the energy of really stepping into the spotlight, though. Of really stepping into the spotlight. Of taking center stage in our own lives, right? So this is where those of us who have taken a backseat in our own lives, once again, in order to people please, possibly, in order to not rock the boat, in order to just shrinking ourselves so that others could shine more brightly, is what I feel. This is a time where we're going to be stepping out of that mode more and more into this energy of allowing ourselves to shine. Not worrying that our shine's going to overpower somebody else's. Right? That's what I'm really feeling, is there are people who have worried, if I shine too brightly, it's going to outshine those around me, or it's going to take away from their shine, and I don't want that because they're so beautiful and they shine so bright, and I want them to keep doing it. And now it's like you realize, that doesn't matter. I can shine too. Right? It doesn't take away from anybody else if I allow myself to express more fully. It adds to things, right? So it's really knowing and understanding that. And really there's like a deeper understanding of of our desires coming through. Of our desires, of what it is that we want and what it is that we're capable of, which is really beautiful. Right? A deep development of courage as well. Yeah, anything else here? Neptune sacrifice. And so this is also about us understanding, right, that the art of sacrifice as we move through Libra season. If I want this, I may have to give up this. Right? If I do this, then I won't be able to do that. But this is more important, so I'm going to choose this over that. Areas where we have to, where like everything involves sacrifice, right? You know, for me personally, right now and for a while now, I've been very focused on my spiritual mission, right? And what that feels like to me. I've been very focused on my own healing process. I've been very focused on certain aspects of my life that I've had to sacrifice other things. I don't have very much of a social life right now. You know, which is okay because it's good to be in our own energy, right? I don't see friends and family very often. There's limited time for that, limited energy for that. There's lots of things that I haven't necessarily experienced as much of this beautiful weather as I might have liked to before we move into the cold season. And it's looking as though I've had to come into acceptance around the fact that I may not be moving out west as soon as I had hoped. I'm allowing everything to happen in divine timing. And so I may be experiencing a winter again, or at least parts of a winter. So yeah, that beautiful weather. I've had to sacrifice some of that in order to do the things that I need to do, in order to fulfill my purpose, in order to continue to grow, in order to put the work and the effort in that's being required of me in order to move forward. But that's okay. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Those are all sacrifices I'm willing to make. I've come to a point in my life where my spiritual mission and purpose, as I see and understand it, which, as we said, is always growing and evolving, is the most important thing to me. So I will sacrifice anything and everything that I have to, that is required of me, in order to fulfill that. Because that's why I came here, right? The primary reason. There's multiple reasons. There's always multiple perspectives and reasons, right? But that is one of the primary reasons I came here. And so maybe some of you can relate to that. Where is it that you are being asked to sacrifice? Where is it that you are willing to understand understand the energy of sacrifice? What is worth sacrificing and what is not, right? What is a worthy sacrifice? What I just talked about, those were worthy sacrifices. Me putting myself out in order to, like the energy we just talked about, right? Dimming your light so that others can shine more brightly. That's an unworthy sacrifice. That is, or you guys know what I mean. Maybe that's not the best wording, but that is not a beneficial sacrifice, right? And so we're seeing some of the sacrifices that we've made, whether those are working for or against us, whether they were worthy, and really prioritizing around that. We're understanding this energy of selflessness, selfless service, right? But we're also seeing and understanding where we thought we were being of service, but we really weren't, right? Where was that actually done? What was the motive for that, right? Did I do that because I wanted to help somebody, or did I do that because I knew it was going to make me look good, right? There's just so many different examples that we could give with this. Did I do this because I have a need to be like the savior or the martyr? Right? And what is that? Is that just an ego game? And that's something we all can look at. That's something I can look at too, right? And so all of these energies are coming up to be looked at. This energy of sacrifice, shifting that energy, right? Understanding that we don't sacrifice to the point of, it's like we don't run our cup dry kind of energy. That's the type of sacrifice energy that is low vibrational. The kind of service energy that is low vibrational. And then, yes, of course, the 7th house, the partner's card. Lots of shifts and shakeups where that's concerned. But where I place that on top of the North Node and the Capricorn card, which Capricorn rules the 7th house, so that's interesting. It definitely feels like for those of you where relationships are ending, they're also making way for something more aligned to come through. And this isn't just romantic partnerships, even though that's typically what the 7th house represents. It also represents business partnerships. But I'm seeing this as people who are more aligned to your mission. People who are aligned to your mission, who have resources that you can use, who have connections that you can use, coming into your reality as well during Libra season. Or you learning and continuing to work with these people and finding more of an equilibrium, a harmony, a balance. Collaborations, right? Some people possibly creating contracting partnerships as well with people. Interesting. Anything else before we switch decks here? Had the Virgo card wanting to pop out, so we all know what that Virgo... Okay, yeah, twice. All right, Virgo. We'll take ya. Virgo, I analyze. Right, so really looking at that deep and penetrating eye at our relationships. And for some people, this may have begun in Virgo season. And so this is a continued fine-tuning of that energy. But it's also purification of relationships. Right? And so seeing which relationships are pure and which are not. The cleansing of some of the toxic traits of relationships. So people who have been experiencing toxicity in relationships, Libra season is going to give you a good, really good opportunity to balance that energy out. To clear that out, right? Whether that means clearing out the relationship completely or whether that means fine-tuning it together, right? Healing some of these toxic energies together. Coming into that equilibrium with each other once again. Yeah. Yeah, so that's beautiful. And then higher level spiritual relationships coming in and replacing the ones that just couldn't really be, I don't want to say saved, but that's kind of what it feels like. And then we have the 5th house coming out with the Mars card and the Yod Destiny card. Ooh, okay. So that's a great closing energy right there. Right? That is fire at its best, right? The 5th house is ruled by the sun, which is also a fire energy, which is the Leo energy. Right? Then we got this Mars card, which we are talking about Mars and the sun. The sun was on the bottom of the deck earlier, but we didn't. But yeah, and this destiny. So really moving forward toward our destiny really powerfully during Libra season. Yeah. Using our creativity, creating the life that we want, creating. This is like the energy, too, of telling us, like, we create our destiny. Right? We create our destiny. In each and every single moment, we are creating. It's like, it's interesting because it's like, in a way, it was already mapped out, but in another way, we're creating it as we go. So just really knowing and understanding that. It's like Spirit doesn't want us to get caught up in this energy of, like, this is my fate. This is what's going to be. This is what must be and what will always be. This is what was written in the stars. This is what this reader told me was going to happen. Or this is like, what the Akashic Record said. Or whatever. No. You are creating your destiny in each and every moment. So have fun with it. Get creative with it. You decide. What resonates with you right now? What do you want? What drives you? What do you have passion for? What sets your soul on fire? You get to create that. You get to decide. So it's really taking creative control of our destiny. Yeah. Taking creative control of our destiny. Which is, it's interesting. Sometimes you don't necessarily expect the energies that come through when you do a video. But we are moving toward that 1010 portal. Right, we will have that 1010 portal during Libra season, and that is a very activating portal. It is a portal of initiation. A lot of fire energy there. Initiation by fire kind of thing. So, this does make sense. This definitely does make sense. All right, that was powerful. All right, do I want to close with anything for you guys? Yeah, we're going to close with an Earth Warriors Oracle today. And we got the Earth on the bottom of the deck there, stability. Finding that stability, finding that even footing. Clear. All right, let's get a closing card for Libra season. Sun and Mars and Mercury in Libra. And we will have Mars and the Sun forming a conjunction in the sign of Libra. And that's going to be, let me look here. Mars conjunct Sun. On the 9th, the 8th and 9th. On the 8th, the Sun and Mars will be conjunct. And then Mercury and Mars will be conjunct on the 9th. So. And I want to say all three of those are basically going to be conjunct together. Yeah, that's the day before the 1010 portal. So that's going to be powerful, leading us into that 10-10 portal energy, the alignment of our consciousness and our drive, our will. So that's this energy right here. All right. Guidance for this Libra season, Sun and Mars in Libra. We are going to see people desiring justice, desiring fairness, feeling called to act upon that desire, to demand that action in the world. I think there's also going to be some communication with Eris here. Yeah, Mars in opposition to Eris on the 21st of October. So, and square Pluto on the 22nd. Yeah, so that energy we're going to see really picking up steam around the 21st, 22nd of October. That energy of demanding justice. Right? All right, this is a lot here. These are long. These are long. But we have the Mayu, Soma from the Galactic Heart. We have White Buffalo Woman. And we have Clan of the Wolf Heart. We are the ones we've been waiting for. All right? Do we not say this all the time? We are the ones we've been waiting for. These cards are awesome, by the way, for anyone who's looking for a deck. I don't use them a lot because they have such long descriptions, but they're really beautiful and really powerful. Okay, so this says, the Divine Mother's milk of the galaxy is feeding your soul. Expansion of your horizons, your spiritual purpose, and your sacred responsibilities is taking place. Divine potential within you is awakening at a higher turn of the creative spiral of consciousness. This oracle is prophecy of ascension and grace. That's powerful. That's powerful. Your soul has been going through a deep spiritual feeding process and is growing rapidly. The evidence of this in the outer world will be a sense of expansion of opportunity, reach, connections, and new levels of spiritual experiences, which we did talk about, right? This oracle foretells the coming of a new phase in life. Newborn energies and fertility, whether biological, creative, or psychological, are being stimulated. An increasingly public profile, we had all that 10th house energy, right, guys? Which moves you into the spotlight, can help you fulfill your divine life mission, provided that you keep your inner connection to spirit as the highest priority. This oracle speaks of soul healing around matters of trust, spirit, mother, and abundance. Boom. That is some powerful shit right there, you guys. Yep. And here, I do want to read this part. This is about balance, once again, right? We can have even too much of a good thing. And so, it says here, more divine light and energy is not always better, at least not when we try to take it in all at once. We need to learn when enough is enough, to detach from the Divine Mother's breast and rest in contentment and fulfillment of the present moment. So this is taking that time for integration. Not always pushing forward, taking that time to rest as well, right? The balance of the masculine, the moving forward, and the feminine, the rest, the receptivity. All right, that's what we're going to read from that. Then we have White Buffalo Woman, 44. Have hope, for you are pure of heart, and White Buffalo Woman appears as the divine sign of rebirth and harmony. Harmony, right? She is the way shower who lives as one with Great Spirit. She teaches the practices that will free and empower us all. She heralds the birth of the divine upon a new earth. You are held in her heart, and you will recognize her beautiful gift of grace, of spirit in your own. This oracle signifies hope and reunion after a challenging or dark time. There will be harmony and a coming together in sacred purpose after putting pain or conflict behind you. A birth of something pure and true shall happen under the auspices of Great Spirit. Forgive yourself and others and lay claim to the purity and goodwill that is your heart's true nature. Spiritual blessing is bestowed. Your actions are in accord with heaven. Complete release and renewal shall take place. The good and true will triumph in the end. Have faith, for your prayers are being answered. Have faith, for your prayers are being answered. Right? But we don't just sit around waiting for our prayers to be answered. We also take constructive action towards them, right? Let's see. Here we go. I like this. For those of us attempting to awaken higher values and closed hearts that are unwilling to shift from more self-serving ways, White Buffalo Woman brings a message of divine justice. And we can experience, remember, Libra is the scale, so that karmic rebalancing as well during Libra season. This is not about revenge or a mean-spirited definition of karma and people getting what they deserve. For if one is disconnected enough from the heart to be self-serving, then one is already in a living hell. Okay? For if one is disconnected enough from the heart to be self-serving, then one is already in a living hell. Right? So they're living their karma right now. The divine justice of White Buffalo Woman heralds is the restorative and correcting power of Great Spirit that will always find a way. If Great Spirit needs to use an unlikely candidate to do that, then it will. The divine is not limited to what we think is going to work. It is powerful in ways that are beyond human comprehension. It is able to enact divine law and elicit restoration even when we wonder if it's all falling apart before our eyes. This doesn't mean that we give up our fight, but rather that we are renewed with optimism and enthusiasm to embrace our journey with the greatest ally working alongside us. We find great comfort knowing that the Great Spirit is with us, not doing for us, but neither turning away from us in our need. We feel a more peaceful trust in the ultimate success of our purpose. For no matter how many twists and turns the path takes, behind and in front every unexpected obstacle, Great Spirit is present. Behind every at first unwanted adversary, through which we develop an important skill or deepen our unconditional reliance and trust in the divine, Great Spirit is there. And is this not what so many of us are going through right now? For those of us that love the light and labor with great passion and perseverance, we need legitimate signs of hope to help us keep the faith in our progress and trust in the value of our contribution. For the evidence of good works is not always seen straight away. That the spiritual worlds love us enough to send us saviors is a testament to just how closely we are held and known in the divine heart. These divine beings help us when we are struggling to make the transition into the next stage of our spiritual evolution, individually and collectively. Savior beings are our spiritual midwives, the birthing mothers and protective fathers who are guiding the human collective into spiritual maturity. White Buffalo Woman brings you the saving grace to progress spiritually, and to know in your heart and soul that you shall see the sacred restored to its rightful place and spiritual harmony between heaven and earth. But remember, these saviors of which they speak, they don't come to rescue us. They come to remind us how to rescue ourselves. Very, very important to know this and understand that difference. And this is what we seek to show others as well, right? We're not rescuing anybody anymore. We're leading by example, and we're sharing with people the tools that they can use to rescue themselves. Right. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So now we're moving on to close with Clan of the Wolf Heart. We are the ones we've been waiting for, right? Let's see. And so this says, you belong to the Clan of the Wolf Heart. It is a soul tribe with boundaries beyond bloodlines and geography. It is based on soul connection to love's wisdom and higher truths of Great Spirit. The clan is united through wolf medicine and the heart. These are the qualities of the divine feminine that unify, allowing for a palpable experience of oneness that brings power to our collective wisdom and purpose. Reach out for help from others whilst you honor and respect your individuality and your own unique life journey. Balance social time with taking care of your own individual needs, including the need for time out in solitude to hear your inner truths and renew yourself. So this is classic Libra season energy right here. Anger can be a sign from the soul, a sacred gift that asks you to deal with the situation, to bring about something different and more empowering. Use your anger as a sacred gift with compassion and clear purpose. Fight wholeheartedly when you need to safeguard what truly matters. Be open to a greater guiding wisdom so that you know when to be merciful and when to cut something off completely. Believe in the power of your inner voice and do not silence yourself. Through the wolf heart, we are soul kin. Whilst our external identities may shift and change with circumstance, our soul tribe is fixed in the heart of the wolf way. It is the backbone of the emerging New World culture. This began as alternative culture, but is now growing stronger in numbers, becoming more pervasive in consciousness and influence in power. It is rising up as the saving grace, guiding the human race into new order. Because our personalities are strong and we are not afraid to voice our individual truths, we may get our buttons pushed by each other at times. However, when we remember that we are on the same team, fighting for the same great purpose, we can forgive and encourage each other, not taking it too personally, and continue to effectively harness the power of what we can accomplish together. So this is about learning how to work within a group dynamic, learning collaboration, when lots of strong minds and personalities come together to try to create something together, right? We've all seen that happen. It can get a little rocky at times. Wolf medicine bestows the qualities of endurance, inner wisdom, and community. Wolves mate for life, and the wolf clan has an organized social structure that includes a balance between group endeavor and individualism. The social order of the wolves provides support, loyalty, and thriving, and yet wolves are free-spirited animals. Wolf wisdom teaches us how to balance solitude and socialization. It teaches that both are needed for the well-being of ourselves and our clan. Wolf wisdom teaches us to share ourselves without losing ourselves. The howl of the wolf is primal and powerful. It is used to locate clan members or to define the boundaries of their territory to wolves from outside the pack. The howling wolf is medicine for standing your ground and defending that which is rightfully within your guardianship. If this strikes a note within you now, be aware that using your voice and your energy to set boundaries and claim your space is important. The territory is not physical. It is the way of the ego. That is the way of the ego. The territory is spiritual. Claiming it means reclaiming and sustaining the right state of mind and the expanded consciousness of open-heartedness to the divine that allows you to determine the quality, consciousness, and stability of that space for all beings that seek refuge within it. Wolf medicine is the awakening of the pathfinder, the way shower, the teacher. Wolf can learn new ways and teach them to others. Part of your soul purpose is to guide and inspire others through what you learn to master in your own life, and we talk about this all the time. Your pain, your struggles, your own life experience is the blueprint to the healing that you're here to offer others. It's the blueprint to your purpose. So do your healing work, right? Pay attention, learn the lessons, garner the wisdom, and that's what you came here to share. We are people who can do what's needed. We can fight the status quo, ravage the human mind away from inadequate responsiveness, right, which is that toxic passivity, and elicit soul passion and on-the-ground action to take us from merely salvaging what we can into alchemical eco-salvation and the birth of a new world order. And this would be the positive new world order, right? Not all that bullshit they're trying to feed us, right? We can create our own. Let us recognize ourselves as the empowered ones. The divine has blessed the tribe of the wolf heart with intelligence, individuality, social and community values, commitment, and the ability to outwit enemies, protect and defend what matters, and adapt to change successfully. May we realize our abilities, tap into the resources we have, and use them fruitfully. May we have joyful courage and confidence in who we are and what we are here to do. Boom. Could not have summed it up better if I had tried. All right. So really powerful energies. And on the bottom of the deck, we have She Rests to Create, Nanu Buluku. So it's that balance of the action and the inaction, right? And power awakening under that. Yeah, you guys, Libra season is going to be powerful. It is going to be powerful. People underestimate Libra energy, but there's so much going on right now, right? It's not just one energy. It's the compilation of all energies. Clear. So, yeah, a lot that is going down, you guys. And we're here for the ride. We are here for it. We are directing that ride, remember? I am the creator of my own destiny. Remember that, know that, own that, step into that. Step into yourself. All right, I love you guys. I appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought, how you're doing, what's going on. I love hearing from you guys. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so, and my email is also down below with the description of all the different services that I offer. If you guys want to do any one-on-one work with me, please reach out to me. I love you. I honor you. I respect you. I appreciate you. You are incredible. Don't ever, ever forget that. But if you do, just turn on my channel, watch one of these videos, and I'll be here to remind you.